Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going over how you can start your own e-commerce business in 2023. I know that so many people want to get started in selling online, want to start an e-commerce store in the new year and don't really know where to start, how to do it. So I'm creating this video today to give you everything that you need to know and kind of like a guide on how you can start up, especially if you're a beginner. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Mac and I am an e-commerce seller. I've been doing this for a little over 3 years now and I've seen great success with it. So I am now sharing it on my YouTube channel and my other social media platforms. So if that interests you, go ahead and join our community here on YouTube and social so that you can start your own e-commerce business too. So the very first thing is understanding e-commerce and the different types of business models that you can do and different products that you can sell. So e-commerce is essentially selling online. A customer will be purchasing from your website or your e-commerce platform, purchasing products and receiving them all through an electronic purchase. So you're not physically in a store and you can do a lot of these that I'm going to be sharing with you passively once they're set up. So that is an important thing to note. So there are lots of different types of products that you can sell online, and I'm going to be going over 2 ways that I do it and recommend for you, especially if you're a beginner. So the first one is selling physical products through a process called print on demand. If you've heard of drop shipping, this is very similar. However, you are creating designs and custom things on products that will be produced for you and shipped out for you. So you're running the business kind of on the back end and overseeing everything going on and collecting profit. So that is called print on demand. I have lots of resources available that I will leave in the description below that go further into that. And I also am going to be talking to you about selling digital products. Now, this is a huge thing that is totally exploding on the internet right now. So many people are interested in purchasing and selling digital products. So I am going to go over that as well. These are 2 business models that I have been doing for a long time and work great for me. So I feel that these are the best to share with you and are 2 really good options. I'm also going to share, some ways that I do it and the platforms that I recommend selling them on. So a little bit of pros and cons about the different types of products you can sell. With print on demand, there are so many different types of products you can sell. You can get really creative with this, and I'll leave a link to the print on demand website that I recommend here that I'm showing you right now that has so many products from candles, hats, posters, art, shirts, apparel, like there's literally so many things. Now, with a process like this, you are going to have to pay that print provider to do these services for you. So that is going to be an additional fee that will cut into your profit. So if you are selling a product for $20, but it costs you $5 to have that print provider print, pack, and ship it, your profit's going to be $15 instead of that regular $20 if you were to do it yourself. Obviously, not considering other fees that would be happening if you were to do that yourself. So that is something to keep in mind. Also keep in mind with this process that you will be having to oversee shipping. So sometimes things go wrong with shipping products, items get lost, people don't receive things, or they may arrive damaged. So that is something that you do want to consider when you're selling physical products, because a lot of the times those problems will fall on you as this is your online store. Now, switching over to digital products, this you are going to have a little bit more wiggle room with because these products are all digital. So you're not having to worry about someone creating them for you or shipping them for you because you're going to have your customer receive this just through their email. So it is just an instant download. So when I say digital product, like I said, this is a download or something that someone is receiving just through their email and then can go ahead and do with it from there. So examples of these products would be planners, journal outlines, templates, art prints, invitations, and so much more. Now, what's also great about digital products is you can create templates that customers can then purchase and edit themselves in apps like Canva. So this is something that is really cool, and it gives the customer a sense of creativity that they can do and create on their own and print it out and do whatever they want with it. So if you're a brand new beginner, digital products may be something that, can be a little bit easier for you. However, keep in mind that both of these you are going to have to, create things or hire someone to create them for you. And it does require work. It's not something that you just create and boom, done. So just keep that in mind. Now, once you decide what kind of product you want to sell and how you want to sell it, you need to decide where you're going to sell it. Now, there are so many options available to you of where to sell your products. Number one is on your own website. You can use a website host like Shopify to create your own business on the platform. So let's say you are doing a sticker store with a print-on-demand supplier, you could go ahead and create a whole Shopify store based on your stickers. Now, when you have your own website, you are going to have a little bit more control because it is your own website. You're creating it from start to finish. You're going and making it your own. You're going to have your own website domain. Your branding is going to have to be all together, and you're going to have to do your own marketing intensively. Now, that can be more of a downside if you are a beginner and you don't know anything about marketing, because obviously to get people to your website, you have to do some sort of marketing. Now, there is search engine optimization that can get people there if they type in your product in a search engine like Google. However, you are going to have to market those products. So it's not just like you post it and there's a chance of getting a sale. You are going to have to do some outsourcing and marketing when it comes to having your own online store. It is absolutely doable. I've done it. I've built stores before and marketed using TikTok and Pinterest. I have videos on that. However, if you are a beginner, it can be easier to go ahead and use an e-commerce marketplace when you're getting started. Those are going to be websites like Amazon, Etsy, or eBay, or all of the other e-commerce marketplaces that I'm sure you have shopped on, especially because we just had the holiday season. So if you did any online shopping, you most likely did use one of those e-commerce marketplaces. Now, the pluses to that are people are already going to these marketplaces to search for products. So for an example, someone goes to Etsy.com looking for products because they know that Etsy is a creditable website and that they can find what they need on there. Now, same with Amazon, same with eBay. And those platforms have millions, billions of people coming to them daily shopping for items. So even if your store is newer and you're selling products on here, it is in the end less outsourcing and less marketing that you have to do in-house, and more of a chance that you will get a sale, especially if you don't know a lot about that outsourcing and marketing. Now, the downsides to this is you are going to have to pay fees to list your products on these platforms because of this, because these e-commerce marketplaces already have credibility, already have customers coming to them, especially like Etsy that I talk about all the time. When you're selling on Etsy, you are gonna have to pay the fees because they already have those customers and they're helping push your listings, your products out to the customers that they already have. And again, that credibility is huge. And if you don't know what I mean by credibility, think of like, if you're gonna buy a product and there's a product on a website and there's a product on Amazon, a lot of people will purchase from Amazon because they know what Amazon is and may not trust your website if it doesn't look trustworthy, doesn't have reviews, and all of that. So that's what I mean by credibility is, big companies like that, when you're selling on their platforms, people know what they are and can, make a purchase on them because they already have that prior experience or knowledge of the platform. Once you know how you're gonna sell your products and where you're gonna sell your products, you need to decide what type of product you wanna sell. Who do you wanna sell that product to? Now, something that is really important, especially with me, and something that I have done through my own research and experience, is having a niche specific store. Especially if you're a beginner, this is the way to go. This is going to help you understand who you're selling to. That can help you get more sales in the long run. This also helps you with your brand and how your brand looks and how it just overall has an aesthetic to it. By doing this, you do have more of a longevity of your brand to have those customers coming back because you're targeting to a specific audience. The way to really see success with having a niche store is offering multiple types of products to that niche. So what I mean by niche is, think of if you wanted to create a store that sold things to people that were interested in crystals or astrology. Now, you can sell multiple kinds of products that have that interest on them. You could be selling candles candles towards that. You could have hats, apparel, you could do stickers, whatever the product is that you're selling, you can have multiple that fit within that niche that you can target to people who are interested in astrology or crystals. So that is just something to keep in mind there, something that's worked really, really well for me. And once you have that niche down and you really understand it, there's so many options available to what you can sell within that. And I think that sometimes people get stuck and they think that they can only sell, hats or whatever it is to that, target audience, but you can actually really expand that, especially with, print on demand and digital products. And this can be, if you have a store on Amazon, if you have a store on Etsy, or even your own business through a website host like Shopify, it is something that just overall creates a better experience and less confusion. And in my experience, does have less of a, people coming and abandoning their cart or just visiting your website and clicking off of it. It is going to help you actually get people to make that purchase. Now, if you're thinking, how do I pick a niche to sell to? How do I know, what kind of niche to create a store around? Try not to overthink this and look more into the research side of things. I suggest creating a list of things that you're interested in, because obviously it's doing something that you're interested in is going to be less of a job to you. It's going to be something that, you're excited to do and just has an overall better experience for yourself. So think of things that you're interested in and go ahead and write those down. And then we want to find a sweet spot between a niche that, is interesting to you, but that also people are searching for and that there is a demand for. I use multiple ways of researching trends and products in different niches. I will leave all of those linked below along with the videos that I have, but just to give you a little bit of an overview on how you can do this is, let's say you have your list created of different niches that you would be interested in selling. You can go ahead and use different platforms to see how those things are already selling. So you could type that into Etsy and see how that is doing on there. You can also use a Chrome extension like Sales Samurai that I always use. This goes and shows how the products are selling, if they're in demand and if there's low competition for them. I 100% recommend this. I do have a code and I will leave that linked below for you, but this will show you, if something is worth selling. You don't want to just go into it without any research. You want to make sure that people are searching for it so that you're not wasting your time. You can also use websites like Google Trends or erank.com. There's so many options, but definitely don't skip the step of seeing if the product or niche that you want to sell to is not actually being searched for. Now, once you have everything lined up, you know what product you want to sell, where you want to sell it, who you're selling to, the next step is planning and launching your website or your store. Now, this can be the most intimidating part to people. There are so many steps involved, so I went ahead and did create a downloadable checklist for you. It is free. I've linked it in the description below, so you can go ahead and download that to kind of give you a little bit of a guide to follow. I really hope that is helpful. But basically, the main things here are that you are going to need a website or store name. You want to make sure that you have your brand aesthetic down. That's just basically so your store looks nice, that people are going to come to it and want to purchase from it. And there are steps that you can take to really escalate that and really get customers to be like, wow, like want to shop from it. You also are going to have to do a little bit of price research to see how to competitively price your items, and a way to go ahead and see how products in your niche are selling currently and at their price point is to just do a quick search either through Google and looking to see what websites are selling, or you can also go on Etsy or Amazon or eBay and see the prices that people are selling in your niche and who seems to be selling by looking for a bestseller badge or a popular seller, something like that, to just see what their prices are already selling to your target audience or consumer. And you also want to have a marketing plan. So how are you going to bring in more sales? So if you are having your own website on the Shopify store, you would need to, create a marketing plan based on how to bring customers to that. Or if you're on a platform like Etsy or Amazon, you do want to do a little bit of marketing just to create your brand. So you could, create a Pinterest account account or social media accounts, which I do recommend that you do regardless of if you're selling on a marketplace or your own website, because this is something to help your brand more long term and to just bring in more clients, because the more service area that you have on the internet, the more likely that you are able to get a sale. So you do want to come up with a marketing plan. But like I said, everything that I have talked about will be in that checklist below so that you can go ahead and just review it all and, you know, help you get started just through a full list of what exactly you need. I really hope that this video was helpful to you. It is not too late to start an e-commerce business in 2023. If anything, this is just being more and more of a thing. So definitely get on this. Like I said, everything I talked about will be linked in the description below as always. You can follow me on my socials or send me a DM on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.